Okay, we are back, and we will continue on playing the Irish in the Viking Invasion DLC for Medieval Total War. And in the last video, we sort of, or not sort of, but we were able to conquer all of Ireland, and the goal was to get the Navy situated, and we kind of have. But we're still exposed to the north and south, so I want to get those boats, get some boats up there. So let's continue on with creating a navy. Continue on creating these boats. Hopefully we can get to the point where we can create longboats. Yes, that's what I need, some longboats. And then the goal is to probably capture a couple of these islands, but I'm going to have to make sure, and of course, do I really want to break the alliance with the Vikings? That's the thing I got to think about. Or we might have an opportunity over here somewhere. Perhaps there'll be a rebellion, something like that. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's check all of the provinces and see how we're doing. And so far it looks pretty good. I do want to get, in case there's an opportunity, I do want to get my armies in place. So we'll have everybody in Braga. Let's see. Well, we do need a couple. Do we have some peasants? Yes, we do. So let's send these guys over here. Let's put the general over here. Did we bring... Wait a minute. Oh, I did make a mistake. This guy's in charge. Who's this guy in charge of? Oh, he's in charge of Braga. I must have brought over the governor. Yes, I did. That was a mistake. Okay. So we still have some loyalty issues over here, but that's to be expected. But I want to get the main army here. So in case there's an opportunity, I can attack them relatively quickly. And then we need to secure these the North and South Seas. What do we have here? So let's see if we bring these guys, those units up here, and the loyalty's not great, but it's acceptable. At least there's no chance of a rebellion, which is what we want. And then the King's army, let's also move these guys out. So we've got all of our army units, our main army units that we want on the front line, ready to go if we need to. There's some sort of opportunity here. And let's see, the loyalty here should be pretty good. It is. These units are pretty cheap to maintain. Yeah, 15. So we can just keep them with the king. He has to have some sort of army after all. Do I have an heir right now? I just got to print. Okay, we need to get a male heir. We're going to be in some trouble. Up here... Let's actually build... Well, we can't. We're still building the wheat. So I do want to be able to make some more peasants because we don't have... You know what I'm actually going to do? Let's stop building these boats because they're not as effective as the longboats. And they even cost more in support. You can see that. They're about 5 more florins. So I'm not a big fan of those boats. So let's just stop the cost there. And we do need some more peasants. So let's create some more peasants. And then once this is finished, we'll start building some more longboats. Okay, I think we can end the round here. And maybe there's an opportunity where we can attack the Vikings, but we're going to have to clear their navy first. And make sure that the island is completely secure. So the last thing we want to do is let the Vikings start wreaking havoc in Ireland. That's the last thing we need. So I'd like to bring this army over here as well, but let's just hold off on that for a bit. So we got a peasant here. Oh no, it's here. Okay, so that's the extra. All right, so let's take this guy over here and we'll give him the governorship. And we'll create a couple more peasants and then we'll start making some more longboats. That's the plan, at least. And we do have a princess now. Who's disloyal? Let's check the loyalty factor. Always important. Want to keep everybody loyal. Do we have a disloyal general? Well, let's get all these armies situated. And then let's check the loyalty. This guy's not completely loyal. This one, I think what we'll do is we'll marry this guy off. And get their generals really loyal. Extremely important, so we don't want a rebellion early. That would be a disaster. And we're doing pretty good on the longboats. That's good. And we've got some peasants for up here in Ulster. And let's see. Yeah, we can raise the taxes up here. Wow, we're making some really good income up here. Let's add the governorship to him. And it's too bad there's no acumen, because acumen is what you really want. Because that adds the... See, this guy's got really good acumen. That adds... I think you get more taxes. That's the way I remember this. Acumen is what you really want. And dread. You want people to dread you, too. That's good as well. Let's see what general has the most dread here. So we'll use him for the main... Both of these two guys have pretty good dread. So this guy we'll just use him to sort of, hold the rear guard, but these guys will be the main assault ones with their dread. That's pretty good. And did we... Okay, so now I'm making mistakes here. This guy is this... Okay, we've got to keep him here. I got to remember this. So... In fact, let's give him a few of these. These are low-cost support troops. These, Kerns, as they call them. Okay, that's good. And we'll actually give him one more. So then what we're doing now is we're just putting spearmen. We'll compose our main force. And then what we can do, I think, so that's good. So we've got these two armies in place. They're ready to go. If there's some sort of... We do have to keep an eye open for opportunities. And right now, I can't. It's kind of like I'd like to go on the offensive, but I can't even attack the Vikings because they got this sea blocked. So we're really going to need to get more of a navy going. So I think we can end the round. And there's the rebellion. We need some of those. We need some rebellions. And if we don't get a rebellion, we may just go after... Well, I got to see, who are they friends with? Well, they're friends with both the Mercians and the Saxons. So probably if I invade here, I'm going to have a lot of people attacking me. So I don't know if that's realistic right now. But Wales is usually a good opportunity. You can get in there pretty easily. They're not usually a threat, but I'm definitely worried about the Mercians. So the Vikings are getting some rebellions in the territory. Okay, we got a opportunity for some marriage. Let's take that. And do we have a male heir yet? Now we have no heirs. Okay, so that's a big problem. Boy, yeah, and I relatively protected my my princes. So that's always the unknown factor about this game, that if you lose your heir, the whole thing just comes to, well, that's it. It's game over. And we don't want a game over. So hopefully this guy starts doing what he's supposed to do. Start working on that. Shouldn't be unenjoyable. Let's say that. All right, let's do a spot check here on loyalty. It's not great here. What do we have? We have 2, 3 here. Okay, let's actually let's send a peasant down here. Loyalty's obviously going to be good there with the king. It's really good in Ulster. And so, yeah, okay. And I think we're pretty safe once we block the north and south channel. We'll be in really good shape. And I might actually send some boats down there. I find it interesting that the longboats are the better boats, and yet it costs more for the weaker boat, the Kuraz, if I'm pronouncing that right. I almost want to dismiss it, but I hate dismissing. That's one thing I really hate to do, is to dismiss any troops. I look at that as sort of going backwards. I just don't like dismissing troops. So we're building a church there. Everything's good. What can we do here? Okay, let's get I do need a port. Actually, I'm going to go for the port first because I'm going to send a fleet up there pretty soon. So I want to get the reduced support costs for the fleet. That's pretty important. So let's end the round. And hopefully we can get some sort of rebellion going on the mainland. And then that's the opportunity to sort of make a landing. Send like an expeditionary force. The Piot leader sends an emissary. I'm not gonna accept that because the Vikings are more of the threat right now. So we're not gonna accept that. I always like to stay allied with the Vikings until I get all the seas blocked. Then they become less of a... I'm less interested in maintaining peaceful relationships with them. I guess that's what I would say. So let's see what we got. Okay, so that's a little bit better in terms of the loyalty. We're okay up here. Not okay up here. Let's just lower. I hate to lower taxes. Let's see, maybe here. We'll send one of these units down here. Okay, that's good. And let's get back to the business of building. Well, we still have another... Still got another round, so we'll just hold off here and wait till this is completed, and then we'll start building more longboats. And the production on those is going pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and end the round. I know we're kind of flying through time here, but... and this is the part of the problem of playing the Irish. You really can't expand. You almost can hit like a 10, 20-year period where you can't expand because there's no more territory to capture, especially since the Vikings we really don't have anywhere to go unless we want to declare war on one of these major entities, which I don't want to do quite yet. Okay, so now we can do longboats. Let's get those going. And now I think we can send... Is this... Let's wait till... Actually, let's send it down here. The port... So you do our first block here. And this is a good bottleneck. Because then they would have to send boats out into this area in order to get to our island. So let's send our first... Well, we got a lot of generals. That's good. Let's send these 3 guys. We'll split the fleet and send part of it down here. And now these guys... so that's good. We got a block down here. I feel much more secure. And then once we get up here... I even feel better about the situation. So we still can't raise taxes, but we might be able to in a few rounds as the loyalty increases. I expect it to. I'm actually thinking... I wonder if I should put the king here and make him more centralized. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. Let's move... We'll keep the governor here. Keep all these guys here, and we're going to move the king up here. There's a little bit more centralized, and hopefully that'll help out with the loyalty a little bit. So we'll keep the main armies ready to go when... oh, you know what? I need to check. Can't forget. Oh, we're doing really good on the profits. Okay, so that's good. Want to make sure I'm keeping an eye on the profits. And as usual, it's the Mercians or the Saxons that usually have the largest force. So that did increase. Yeah, moving the king there, it did actually. He's now touching that province. So we got a little bit of a boost there. That's good. Let's go ahead and let's build a fortified village, and then we'll get back to building wheat production, increasing that. How are we doing here? So we're doing fine there. We're doing good here, obviously. Everybody's building, which is good. Oh, we aren't building here. Let's go for let's go for a fort. And what's this guy's loyalty? Not good. Let's actually fix that. We don't want any rebellions. So we'll put this guy in temporary charge. So the loyalty's good. Everything's good. Okay. All right, we got a port complete up north, so we can send a new fleet up there once we... Well, we're going to have a couple new boats, so we should be able to do that. I don't want to weaken... Definitely got to keep at least a minimum of 3 boats here. I don't want to weaken the main fleet. That would open up a can of worms. It would not be good. And then we're going to have to think about where... Once we get this fleet up here, we're going to have to think about if we want to try to take on the Vikings. Their ships are really tough, though. And I mean, I wouldn't if I took them on. It wouldn't. I could probably lose 3 or 4 of my ships. Probably win that battle, but it would be nasty. They have a really nasty navy early on. So you know, you just gotta be careful with them. As you can tell, I am. Fortified village complete. Okay, that's good. And what do we want? Okay, so I think we're just gonna... Do I want to keep... No, you know what? Let's go for the basic farms. I do want to increase profit margins as quickly as possible. And I think things are looking good. What do we got? Okay, so we need a couple more longboats here before we split this navy. Do we have the ability to make... No boats down here yet. Just scanning to see if there's any rebellions, anything we can take advantage of. Nothing. We may just have to declare war against one of these entities. And I'm thinking the Scots, this is a good... I like to carve the country in half and then move north, and then we would move south. If there's no rebellions down here that we can take advantage of. We'll have to wait and see. If there is a rebellion, then we can take advantage of it. Otherwise, this is where I always like to come, like I said. I like to come here, capture everything up north, take the... Oh, and about the Vikings, somebody mentioned on one of the messages I should take over the Vikings, and that's a good idea. But I got to get some emissaries. I don't think we can make emissaries yet, but we are going to get that ability right now. We're going to do a royal palace. I think that gives us... Yes, it does. So we'll create the royal palace. That'll give us... we do need... I think we lost our emissary, actually. I didn't see... Yeah, I think we lost our first emissary. I think he got killed or something. I don't know what happened, but he's gone. Okay, so... Let's see where we got here. We've got... Let's split the fleet. I'm going to do what I didn't want to do, but I do want to... I'm nervous about this area because it's exposed, and I don't want the Vikings coming down here, so at least we got a block here. Didn't really want to... But at least we got 2 boats there, and we'll get this built up pretty quickly. Let's just keep mass-producing longboats. That's the key. We're looking good here. Oh, okay. We get... That's great. Let's do a chapel. And we get that boost for morale boost, which is always important for troops made there. So that's always good. And then we'll do the a keep, and that will allow us to build a fully fledged church, which is always good. Come on, start a rebellion, somebody. Start a civil... We need a civil war. Let's check the loyalty here. The zeal's pretty high. Doesn't look like there's going to be a civil war there anytime soon. Let's check down here. Saxons probably have too much. We could take... Well, no, we'd get pummeled down here because I think the Saxons, because their allies would come down and they would probably launch a big attack against us. And that's the thing, like I said, Ireland's good, but it's also kind of a weakness because you can't expand anymore. We're sort of in a waiting period here almost. Do we have an heir? Finally. Okay, Prince Cormac is the savior. Hopefully our king continues on. I'd like to get a couple more. But at least we got some... How old is he? He's 31, so yeah, I think we'll be okay. I'm wondering if... See if we take this area... May have to... Well, I'm going to try to take out the Vikings first. So let's just... I think that's the goal, is to take the Vikings out, because that island right in the middle of the channel is really important to hold it. And because it has iron, that's one of my favorite minerals in the game. But we have to also know that they're going to have a fleet that's from... Even these single boats, like I said, can cause problems. Now, if I can get this up to the point where there's like 6 or 7 boats here, I'll feel much better about that. Okay, so we've got some stuff down here to do. Let's actually just add a stockade, because we're going to need to get a keep eventually. So, and then we'll do that. Should only take a few moves. So, and then we'll worry about the wheat production. And I could actually attack here, and the Mercians and Saxons wouldn't be able to attack us. So we could do that and then try to make peace with them or something. We'll have to wait and see. That might be difficult, though. But I have a feeling they would come in. But now we've got... Well, forget about that. I'm getting distracted. Should we take a run? No, I don't want to take a run. I want both of these fleets a minimum of 5 boats. So let's send 2 more down here. So this is at 5. And let's send 2 up here. So these fleets now are fully manned. Then once we get, we'll put a whopping, we'll put 7 boats in for the main fleet. That's our, and that can also be used to send reinforcements if we need them. And then I think we'll take a swing at the Vikings. We're going to tack them right in here and then move these guys over as quickly as possible to claim this island before they even have an opportunity to send another fleet in. Hopefully we can get, they probably will, but we're going to have to fight them anyways, so why not take out their fleet as early as possible and rid ourselves of that menace. Now we can make some emissaries, and let's do that. Oops, no, we can't. We're still building. Let's just continue on. We'll make some emissaries when we get that ability. What do we want? Do we want to, no, you know what? We do want a royal court because we want to get the mounted nobles. So let's do that. How we doing here? Pretty good. Pretty good. And the earnings are going up steadily. That's good. And we got 32,000 florins. So I mean, we're in good shape here. And really, there's not much of a threat right now of any. I mean, they could sneak around here, but I'll keep an eye on that. I mean, they could, but we'll park a few boats here too, just to get the island completely surrounded. I think we'll do that. But generally speaking, I think we're very safe. We've survived the initial part of the game, which is good. I'm hoping. What I'd like to see, we could go after Scotland too. They're sitting there, but they've got a lot of forces here. Let's see what these are made of. I got a really highly ranked general here too, who's only got a few units left. So yeah, we'll think about this. But I think the better strategy is to attack the Vikings because nobody's really who's allied with the Vikings. I'm his only ally. Okay, well that's good. That's actually not a bad thing. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen, so that's what I worried about. And I'm not going to mess around with that. We're going to send. Well, I am going to mess around. Let's actually, you know what? Oh, that's good. Let's get the ability to build boats up here. Once we get that, we're going to be in real good shape. I just got to build the fortress up there a little bit, and then we should be able to construct a naval yard up there. So we got a royal court, and we can build now a church here. Let's build a spearmaker. And here I think we can start doing armored troops, but I'm not quite... Can even do these guys, but I like these armored spearmen. I've always liked them. Especially when you can only auto-resolve. They're good. Don't know if I want to quite... If we're just going for this island, we don't need to... what we really need to do is get the this is going to be a naval exercise, so I'm not so worried. If I was going out of the mainland, I'd probably want more troops, but I think if we're just taking this, and the question is now, do we want to take our first run at them? And I'm not sure. Not yet. We're not going to do that yet. Not until we have a couple more boats. That's all I want. A couple more boats. I want to reinforce the boat. Hopefully no more sea storms. That would help. And then what we can do is send that one lone boat up here. Okay, so I can do my first. I might even just start. We might even start constructing boats right away when we get. Even not wait for the longboat upgrade. We might just start doing it right away. I'm actually going to plan on keeping the king here at all times. So we'll take the governor and just merge all these forces. So let's check the loyalty. Everything looks good here. Profits are holding steady. Main army is in good shape. Loyalty looks really good. Life is good. Let's see. Our prince will be here in a few to save the day so we don't get hit with that penalty. Well, it's a game-ending penalty if you don't produce an heir. I guess that makes sense. It would be kind of a neat thing. I was thinking about this. I mean, the game's 20 years old now, so But it would have been neat if they offered you the ability to have a civil war, because that's usually what happened when there was a dispute in the family tree, the line of succession. There was usually just a civil war. I mean, that happened in many different nations. You'd have just you're able to pick a faction, I guess. Kind of like when they have a civil war, you can pick a faction. That would have been kind of cool, but they didn't offer that. Because it's really not the end of, England had several line of succession issues. So did France. France, there was constant treachery going on. Everybody's getting assassinated. There was all this craziness going on. So, it's, certainly that would have been an interesting feature to have. But by no means is it the end of the country. It just meant that there's... So I guess what they really needed was uncles and cousins and things like that. But... I get it. It was one of their first games, so. So, I think did we get the extra ship here? We did. All right, so let's send this guy up here. That'll give us 5. And now, once these boats are produced, we're going to go on the offensive. Finally get a chance to do some attacking, which is what this game is all about. Middle Ages, after all. Or a dog-eat-dog world. Let's see if we can build anything here. I'm not thinking, this is the heart of the empire. So I'm tempted to put the cathedral here. But you also like to put that in an area where it's less loyal. I guess that's what I would say. Oh, let's build a boat after that's done. So these provinces now are starting to get fleshed out in terms of the money-making ability and producing units, all of that. That's good. Okay. And do we have all the taxes at the highest rate? Got to check that. All right. So I think this is now at... Okay, so everything is ready to go. Let's launch our first attack. Here we go. And this is always, scary because, the Vikings have the elite navy early on. We'll see. Here we go. I got a bad feeling about this, but hopefully it doesn't wipe out, all of our fleet. It didn't. Okay, good. Okay. I've seen it before where it has. Maybe I'm just overreacting, but... All right, so let's send... Who's the most loyal? This guy's not too loyal. Let's marry her off, and then we'll send this guy over here. And we'll keep these army units in reserve, so we should be able to take that relatively easily. Okay, that was good. And this is an awesome... This is one of my favorite positions in the game. It's a great actual... I can actually remember a few times where I actually had... This is all I had left. I had lost some battles and I had to retreat here, but they couldn't take me. They couldn't take this because because I had a fleet here. I was actually able to build up and get back through a lot of legwork. I was able to get back on, I think it was, then realistically, you got to try to take Ireland and then start the whole process over. But that did happen a couple times. Let's just keep building this out. Let's add that. I think we're all good here. The wheat, and we'll do a keep. Okay. And this guy's getting built. They did move a 2-star in. Is this guy a 2-star? He didn't get a rank up after that. That's okay. They've got quite a few. They got a couple boats down here. This is sort of a problem. Let's add one more boat just to keep that safe. I don't want to get that fleet wiped out, because that would not be good since we're now at a full war situation here with the Vikings. Ooh, I saw that movement of the Pyats. That was interesting. All right, so this is good, and that's cool that we already have the basic farms. That's really... Oh, yeah, and you get the Abbey. That's cool. Let's just do all these. Let's queue all that up. And we may actually go for this island, depending on who's there. Let's actually send... I hate to waste a boat. It'll probably get attacked, but I do want to do a surveillance up there and just see what's up there. We'll take a look and see what's going on up there. Oh, they sunk it. Bastards. Okay. Wait, what happened? Oh, did we win that? Oh, we won that. Okay. All right, let's send another boat up there. And they've definitely got, I mean, it's always the case. They've definitely got a navy. But so far, I mean, I've had experiences where it didn't go so well against the Vikings navy. But in this case, it's good that some of these guys are now fighting each other, because that'll make it easier for me to launch an attack. Okay, so the Piats have it. And let's check who is allied with the Piats. The Mercians, that's not good. The Northumbrians and the Welsh, but none of them can really do anything about it. That's the good news, is they wouldn't really be able to attack me up there. So we may look at them as the next expansion point. The problem is, well, you know what the problem is. I've got to get rid of the Viking navy up there too. That's going to be a rather difficult thing to do. Let's keep the pressure on them though. And we'll use the how many, did I lose some boats down here? I think I did. Let's not stop. Let's actually add a couple more. You can never have enough against the Vikings. So let's add a few more naval units. And we've increased, since we took that island, we're up like 400 florins on the profit. That's good. All right, well, I think that's where we're going to call it. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.